This is the Enjoy Life podcast, here to help you choose your mindset, goals, and actions so that you can guide your life in the direction that you want it to go and enjoy it. It does take a little bit of work, some effort on your part, but that effort is worth it because this is your life and you can experience the benefits of the work that you do. And this podcast is here to help. Life doesn't magically turn out exactly how you want. It's up to you to make it happen. Now, you may not have chosen to be exactly where you're at right now in your current situation, but you will choose what you do about it. If you're ready to put forth a little bit of effort, take some small steps toward living the life that you want, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Well, hello there. I'm your host, Nick Mazie. I'm glad you're here today. Hope this year's going well for you so far. That you're taking steps toward the life that you want. That you've determined that you're going to take each and every day and make it count for what you want in your life and what's important to you. Now, New Year's is the time where a lot of people do set resolutions and set some goals and some targets to pursue. Now, if you had a little bit of trouble with that, or maybe your New Year's resolutions have already faded, or they were just a little foggy, and so they really didn't pull you toward them with the determination and persistence that's needed to achieve goals that are important, then you want to check out this video series that I made. It's all about creating life targets, ones that are powerful and relevant to where you're at right now, that resonate with your values and what's important. You can get access to the video series at nickmazie.com/free CLT. Now, the video series is no cost to you. It even comes with some worksheets and a few videos to walk you through the framework for creating life targets. Not just a resolution or a haphazardly set goal, but a life target that can pull you toward it. Ones that are worth being persistent and pursuing with all that you have, because it's your life. You might as well do all that you can to make it what you want. So once again, that address is nickmazie.com/free CLT. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into today's topic, right? Any goal that you have, anything that you want to achieve, you got to take action to make it happen. Maybe you already have that crystal clear goal that you've set for this year, but you're struggling to take action going toward it. Well, have you ever struggled with doing what you know you should do so that you can achieve what you want? Then you're not alone. You're definitely not. And I've been there too, many times, knowing that I need to do something to achieve what I want to achieve, to get that result that I'm looking for. I know I have to do whatever that step is, and I struggle with it sometimes. But fortunately, I don't stay stuck. And so I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned that help me. It's weird because even when I know that I want to take those steps and to take action, sometimes I don't. And the one thing that tempts me the most, it seems like, is that into not taking action is not feeling like it. I simply won't feel like going to the gym to work out. Well, if you've been around this podcast at all or my material, then, health is one of those things that I really want to keep improving. And in my mind, I know that going to the gym and getting some exercise on a regular basis, it does wonders for my health. I feel so much better. But sometimes I don't feel like it. Or in the morning, sometimes I don't feel like packing a healthy lunch. So what ends up happening is I go out and I grab a quick unhealthy bite to eat later because I get hungry. And I know that if I pack a simple, healthy lunch, it's going to end up tasting good, and I'm going to get the result that I want of feeling better physically, and that helps me feel better mentally. But sometimes in the morning, I just don't feel like doing it. So what I want to do is, first I want to talk about a little bit what might be going on or what goes on in my mind, and it might be something similar to yours. And then we'll dive into a simple little trick that you can do to help you to take action towards your goals, and it's one of the things that I use sometimes too. So this is one way that the mind, my mind, can end up working against me. And see, the mind sometimes sees the present moment as more important than what may happen later on. We place a lot of emphasis, importance, and value on what's going on right now. And because the right now, this exact moment, see, that's that's what I experience. That's what you experience. We experience things in the present. We really don't really know too much about what might happen later or what the future will bring. And so focusing on the present, it can be a good thing a lot of times, especially when we talk about mindfulness and reducing stress and a lot of good stuff. Focusing on the present, it can be great. It can help in a lot of ways. But in some other ways, sometimes it leads to not making the choices and taking the actions and doing the things that'll get us to where we want to go in the future. See, the biggest trap for me, is not taking steps toward my goal when I feel like I'd rather just be relaxing and being comfortable. Now, yeah, of course, relaxing and being comfortable, those are great things, as long as they don't interfere with achieving my goals. Especially when we're talking about relaxing, and reducing stress and all that. Relaxing can be great. And so that adds a little bit more to the pull to, well, I just want to, relax a little bit because it's a good thing. But like I said, as long as it's not interfering with me taking actions toward my goals, when that happens, then it's a problem. See, and being comfortable, that feels nice. I love sitting on the couch watching TV because that is comfortable. But do you think that that's going to help me achieve my goals of making progress in my health? You think that's going to help me get there? Being so comfortable sitting on the couch watching TV? No, it's not. And it's like they say, any change or growth, it happens outside of your comfort zone. It takes getting a little bit uncomfortable, and it might not be massively uncomfortable. So much of my material in this podcast is about taking small steps to go in the direction that you want to go. So it doesn't have to be just being miserable is what you have to do in order to achieve your goals. I don't have to get miserable in order to make the progress in the areas of life that are important to me, but I do have to shift a little bit away from focusing on being comfortable in the moment. Now, there's another trap that ends up stopping me, from taking action. It's not just the focusing on the present and wanting, the comfort and relaxation now. It's not just focusing on that as being more important than what might happen later on. It's also the hard work that you have to do to achieve your goals. It's work. And sometimes hard work, it can seem like a negative thing because it's like effort and energy and all this stuff you have to put into getting that positive result of achieving your goals later on. And a lot of times it's easy to value avoiding the negative more so than getting the positive. I know it sounds weird. It's just another psychological trick the mind plays on us. Sometimes it's helpful in some situations, but when we're talking about putting forth a lot of effort and energy and drive, to take action toward our goals, it's not helpful in that. So because the mind kind of values avoiding the negative more than getting the positive, it will stop us from putting in a little bit of the negative, the energy, effort, hard work, and sometimes just take working out for an example. A lot of that exercise, it's tough. Especially talking about going for a run or pushing weights or anything. Sometimes that can seem to the body as a negative because it's not realizing the value of getting stronger and healthier and feeling better and having more energy that comes later on. In the moment, it just sees the hard work and the pain of putting forth all that energy to exercise and pushing yourself. It's just that psychological trick that the mind plays on us. So, but don't worry, because you can have some tricks of your own, especially when you know these things are going on and how the mind might be working against you. Then you can do something about it so that you can still take the action and achieve the results that you want. So how do you stop the struggle and take action? Well, let me just go ahead and say there's many ways to help yourself to start moving, take action, and make progress. And for more of them, go to nickmazy.com. You just search for, there's a little search bar up at the top. Or if you don't see it because you're on a smaller screen like a tablet or a phone, there's a little magnifying glass. Click on that and just type in take action or action. I have a lot of other episodes and posts all about that. So dive into it. But today we're just going to talk about one area or one little shift in mindset that might help you to take action toward what you want and so you can pursue your goals. So when you're making a change and making an improvement or an adjustment to life, you can either think about it as though you're going toward what you want, or you can think about it as going away from what you don't want. Mentally seeing yourself getting farther away from the positive or farther away from the negative, or going closer to the positive. Now, personally, well, the little trick I'm going to share with you, it's not my favorite. There's a couple reasons why I don't care for it, but I like focusing on the positive. It's more pleasant. It's more positive. It's nicer. But just because this isn't my favorite tactic to get myself to take action, doesn't mean it's not effective. It is effective. It works. It helps. It's just not my favorite. There's plenty of things that aren't my favorite, but I do them because it gets me where I want to go. And so this one, it actually, you have to see the negative side of things and think about it a little bit. But what's really cool is that it works with that little tendency of the mind to value avoiding the negative. So we want to play on that a little bit and use it to our advantage so that we can take action toward our goals. And so avoiding the negative can be a powerful way to get you to move forward and to take action. And this is especially helpful when you're at the beginning stages. Avoiding some sort of negative consequence, it can make it easier to get moving because our brain really wants to avoid the negative. And so I just mentioned, looking like you're going toward the positive or away from the negative. Well, if you're really struggling with taking action and starting to get that momentum going forward, then think about it as avoiding the negative. And once you develop that momentum and you're getting some of the benefits of your hard work and you're taking action and you're moving forward, then continuing that, it becomes easier. It's easier to take action once you've already been taking action. So this is something that can help you out, especially when you're struggling just to get going. If you're struggling to get moving, ask yourself what you'll regret not doing. What's the negative that you're going to experience, especially like emotionally and mentally? What's that negative that's going to come your way if you don't take action now? This is where the focusing on the negative can help. See, think about it. For me, later on, I'll regret not packing that healthy lunch because I'll get something unhealthy. I'll feel my body's being sluggish. It might be all greasy and taste good in that moment, but I'm going to end up regretting not having that healthy lunch when my energy drains, when I'm just not feeling as good, or especially if I do it a few times in a row and I can tell how it's just hitting my body. If you'll regret not taking a walk during your lunch break, just a few minute walk, if you'll end up regretting that for that tiny bit of exercise that it does give you, then just do it. Ask yourself, what am I going to regret later on? Or a lot of times you'll have that brief, fleeting thought of something you should do in that moment to make progress towards your goals. If it's either, like I said, doing something for your health, getting a little bit of exercise, making the healthy choice at lunch. If it's, if finances are one of the life target areas that you have targets in that you're making progress in toward, then ask yourself, if you're going to regret making that impulse purchase because it really wasn't in line, it's not helping you achieve your goals. Start doing the things, or if you're going to regret not doing something, then do it. If you know that you'll regret doing something and you know it, but you feel like doing it in that moment, don't place so much value on that feeling. Do what's going to help you to get towards your goals. Ask yourself what you're going to regret, and then if you're going to regret doing something, don't do it. Ask yourself what you're going to regret not doing. And if you're going to regret the fact that you didn't take that step, then you better take that step. Focus on the negative consequence that you'll experience later and try to avoid it. And you can avoid negative consequences by making the choices that you know are going to take you towards your goals. Like I said, I don't really like focusing on the negative. I just don't like it. But sometimes if I'm struggling to take steps, if I'm struggling to take action toward my goal, then I have to do whatever whatever I can, whatever is possible, so that I can make progress toward my goals. Because my goals are important to me. I've created them, based on my values and what I want to achieve in life. So doing a little mental shift isn't going to take me away from what's important in my life. And choosing to shift your mindset just a little bit, look at things in a little bit of a different way. Maybe place a little bit more value on the future that you're going to get. Maybe even focusing on what negative consequences you're trying to avoid. Maybe just those little things will help you to pursue what's important to you in your life. And see, once you've set those goals, you've created them. You've created goals that are relevant and powerful for your life, then it's worth doing whatever mental tactics you need to do so that you can take the steps toward them, so that you can take action and make them happen. See, it's the little steps that are going to take you towards your goal. Don't discredit the little steps. The little steps will get you going in one way or another. They have a lot of power. They can build up into momentum and continue on whichever path they're taking you. It's those little steps. It's a little step toward the healthy choice, or it's the little step toward the unhealthy choice. Rarely does anything keep you in the same place. Okay? So don't discredit those little steps. Think about, avoiding the negative consequences of either an action or not taking action. What negative consequences can you avoid by taking that small step right now toward your goals and what you want for your life? If later on you'll wish that you had done something, then go do it now. All right? Now, if you do need some help with really creating those powerful targets relevant to where you're at, once again, you can go to nickmazy.com/free-CLT. Check out those videos. Like I said, it's no cost to you. The first video, I kind of just go through the framework of creating life targets and an overview of that. And then the next video, dive in with a worksheet, and there's another worksheet at the next video to help you start figuring out and getting clear on what might be some really good targets for you in your life, so that you can take action to go where you want to go. Thank you for listening to the Enjoy Life podcast. I'm thrilled that you do. It really, honestly, it makes my day just seeing the downloads. People are listening to it, and thank you so much for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And if you are getting value out of this, rate and review the podcast. That is, I lose track of how many podcasts there are out there these days. Last I checked, I think it might be 1 million by now, but it was like 700,000. When you rate it and review it, if you have time, write a little review. If not, just do a simple rating. You can go to nickmazy.com/iTunes to do that on the Apple Podcast or the Apple iTunes page. But however you're listening to it, just rate and review. It'd be a huge help. Thank you again for listening. Go make this year what you want it to be. This is your life. You can go make it happen. All right. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.